They say when the phone rings from the other side, you either hang up or you face everything you've been running from. The Black Phone 2 opens with that idea. What happens after you survive a monster? 4 years have passed since the Grabber, the masked child killer who terrorized Denver, was finally stopped. 4 years since Finney Blake, a shy boy with a bike and a broken childhood, killed his kidnapper and escaped that hellish basement. The first film ended with hope, but as this sequel shows, survival isn't the end of the story. It's just the start of another nightmare. It's now 1979, in a snow-dusted Denver suburb. Finn is older, taller, quieter, played again by Mason Thames, who brings more weariness to the role. The neighborhood kids still whisper his name like a legend. That's the boy who killed the Grabber. But legends don't feel like victories to the people who lived them. Finn's a ghost of himself, angry, paranoid, and haunted by the sound of a phone that shouldn't exist. His sister Gwen, played again by Madeline McGraw, is no longer the scrappy, defiant girl who cursed at cops and prayed for visions. She's now a teenager, quieter, more fragile. Her dreams, the same ones that once helped save Finn, have grown darker, longer, more vivid. And now, she's not just seeing the future, she's hearing it. Every night, Gwen wakes up drenched in sweat, clutching her rosary, muttering her mother's prayers, because she keeps dreaming of a frozen lake, children beneath the ice, staring up at her, and through the rippling frost, she sees him, the Grabber, maskless, smiling, calling her name. When Gwen's father, Terrence Blake, played again by Jeremy Davies, finds her wandering the hallway in the middle of the night, sleepwalking, whispering into her hand like it's a receiver, he fears she's turning into her mother, who ended her life years ago after being consumed by the same gift. But Gwen insists she's not crazy. She's being called. And soon, Finn hears it too. A faint ring. From nowhere. From a phone that was buried with a monster. At school, Finn isolates himself. He skips class, drifts aimlessly, smokes with Ernesto, the younger brother of his dead friend Robin, Ariano. Ernesto, played by Miguel Mora, looks up to Finn like a big brother, but even he can see Finn's breaking down. When he mentions that Gwen's been talking in her sleep, saying names of kids no one's ever heard of, Finn snaps. But when Gwen draws a picture of the lake from her dreams, Alpine Lake, written in childlike scrawl, something clicks. Alpine Lake, a Christian sleepaway camp 2 hours north of Denver, closed years ago after a tragedy. And there's more. In one dream, Gwen hears a name, Armando. That's when we meet Damien Beecher as Armando Mondo, a former camp counselor who since bought the property and is trying to reopen it. Desperate for answers, Gwen convinces Finn and Ernesto to go there with her, posing as teens looking for work. They pack up their bags, pile into Finn's rusted pickup, and head into the mountains. The further they drive, the heavier the snow gets. The radio crackles with static, and just before they lose signal completely, a familiar ring echoes through the speakers. The camp sits frozen in time, cabins half buried under snow, crucifixes dangling from the rafters, children's names carved into bunk beds. Mando greets them warmly, but he's clearly hiding something. He talks about the light and forgiving the past. And when Gwen asks if he's ever heard of the 3 boys who vanished decades ago, his smile fades. That night, Gwen dreams again, but this time she's inside the dream. The camera switches to Greenie Super 8, a brilliant stylistic callback from Derrickson. She walks barefoot across a frozen lake, the air humming with whispers. Beneath the ice, she sees the faces of 3 boys, bruised, blue, and silent. Then she sees him, the grabber. His mask gone, his face blackened like coal, skin flaking like burnt parchment. He doesn't speak, he breathes. Each exhale fogs the screen. When Gwen jolts awake, her hands are bleeding, scraped raw as if she'd clawed ice. In the daylight, Finn notices the same wounds, and that's when the phone rings again. This time, they find it, buried in snow near the frozen lake. The same black rotary phone from the basement, the same chipped dial. It rings once, twice. Finn hesitates, then answers. Silence. Then, "Miss me?" Ethan Hawke's voice, distorted, broken, yet unmistakable. The grabber is back, but he's not flesh and blood anymore. He's the thing that trauma leaves behind. From here, Black Phone 2 transforms into a full-blown supernatural descent. Gwen's dreams and reality start to merge. She wakes up with frost on her eyelashes, sees phone cords snaking through walls. Every call she takes brings her closer to the grabber's realm, a limbo between death and memory. Finn, meanwhile, discovers old police reports and camp records in Mando's office. The grabber worked maintenance at Alpine Lake 20 years ago. The missing boys were his first victims. Their bodies were never found. Mando confesses he's known all along. He stayed because he believes the camp is cursed, that the boys' souls never left, trapped under the lake. He's been praying, building crosses, hoping faith can hold back the darkness. But faith isn't enough. The grabber's spirit starts manifesting, phones ringing in every cabin, children's voices calling for help, Gwen being pulled into trances. In one of the film's most chilling sequences, Gwen dreams of walking into the camp chapel. The pews are filled with lifeless children, heads bowed. And on the pulpit stands the grabber, preaching through a cracked smile. Death isn't the end, it's just a new line. The lights flicker. He raises the black phone, and behind Gwen, Finn's reflection appears, frozen in terror. Finn realizes the only way to save Gwen is to follow her into the dream. Using clues from Ernesto and Mando's Bible passages, they set a trap, a circle of salt, blessed water, and the black phone at its center. When it rings again, Finn answers, and instantly he's pulled into the grabber's realm. Now the world is monochrome, snowy, lit only by flickering streetlights. He finds Gwen standing on the ice, trapped, the grabber circling her. Their final confrontation is both brutal and symbolic. Finn facing the embodiment of his trauma, Gwen fighting to believe her visions aren't curses, but gifts. The grabber mocks them, revealing that their pain keeps him alive. Every time you dream, you call me. But Gwen fights back. She calls the spirits of the 3 lost boys, and one by one, they rise beneath the ice. The phone rings again. Finn answers. On the other end, Robin's voice. Time to finish what we started. The boys drag the grabber under the ice, his screams muffled by water and blood. Finn and Gwen barely escape as the lake collapses inward, sealing the evil below for good.
Weeks later, back home, the Blakes try to heal. Their father, Terrence, has sobered up and is trying to make amends. Finn starts seeing a therapist. Gwen, once afraid of her gift, now embraces it, journaling her dreams, searching for ways to use them for good. In one quiet scene, Finn sits by his bed, staring at his old phone. It's silent, peaceful. Then, as he turns off the light, it rings. He answers. No voice, just static. Then, faintly, Robin laughs. "Still with you, buddy?" Finn smiles for the first time in years. Cut to black. The Black Phone 2 isn't just about horror. It's about healing. It's about how surviving doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning to live with what's left behind. Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill have taken Joe Hill's simple ghost story
and built an emotional, terrifying mythology around it, a world where grief calls back, trauma takes shape, and hope whispers through the static. With stunning Super 8 sequences, a powerful score, and layered performances by McGraw and Thomas, this sequel proves that horror can grow up with its characters, deeper, sadder, and somehow more human. And maybe that's the scariest part of all, because when the phone rings again, will you answer?